There is a strange kind of freedom that arises the moment you stop trying to control everything. When you stop clinging to the what-ifs, the maybe-yes, the what could go wrongs, suddenly, life begins to breathe again. Worry, despite all its noise, is a cage made of shadows. It traps you in a future that does not even exist, stealing the calm and strength you already carry within. Remember, you only lose what you cling to. The Buddha. But how do you let go in a world that teaches you to hold on even tighter? Why does trying to fix everything often leave you more broken? This is not just a video. This is a mirror. Together, we will uncover the hidden patterns that leave your soul tired and your spirit tense, and how Buddhist wisdom can guide you to freedom. Stay until the end, because this video holds a truth that just might shift your emotional world forever. Lesson 1. The stillness beyond control. There is a quiet kind of suffering that does not come from the world, but from within. It grows when you try too hard to make everything go your way. You think, if I could just control this person or make life bend to my will, then I would be at peace. But peace does not come through control. It comes the moment you let go. Freedom begins where attachment ends. Have you ever pulled a rope so tightly that your hands burned, only to realize you did not need to pull at all? The more we grasp, the more life slips through our fingers. Imagine a river trying to push against its current. It would only exhaust itself. And yet, we do this every day, forcing clarity from confusion, affection from indifference, certainty from the unknown. But the river does not resist. It surrenders, and still reaches the ocean. This is the stillness beyond control. There is a story monks tell. The wind does not ask the leaves where they want to go. It simply moves gently, with presence, and the leaves follow. You are the wind. Life is not meant to be controlled. It is meant to be moved through consciously, gently, fully awake. We are taught that to care is to control, that love means worry, that success demands obsession. But the Buddha's way is different. Letting go is not giving up, it is trusting. There is a difference between surrender and despair. One weakens, the other frees. Try this. Close your eyes. Picture a rope you have been pulling too long, maybe a relationship, maybe your identity. Now loosen your grip. Feel your shoulders drop. That is the beginning of peace. Ask yourself, what am I trying too hard to control? And what might happen if I stopped? At first, the silence may scare you. But stay with it, because beneath the silence is something deeper than control: clarity. You will see. When you stop interfering, life finds its rhythm without your panic, without your pushing. The day you stop trying to control everything is the day everything starts to align with your soul, not your fear. Let go, not to escape, but to rise. Let go and come home to the calm that has been waiting underneath. Lesson 2. Care is not clinging. There is a fine line between love and attachment, a line so subtle, many do not notice when they have crossed it. At first, you care because your heart is open. But over time, that care begins to ask for something in return: validation, control, reassurance. And when it does not get it, you suffer. You ask, why does love hurt so much? But it is not love that hurts. It is the clinging. Detachment is not the absence of love, it is the clarity of it. True care does not collapse into need. It becomes presence, a quiet offering, not a desperate trade. In Buddhism, this is called wise compassion, being fully present without losing yourself in another's story. Like a candle lighting another, it gives light but stays whole. It does not burn itself out to prove it is real. But we often confuse fear for devotion, thinking that worry or sacrifice is proof of love. When your care becomes a cage, when your peace depends on their approval or attention, you have left love and entered attachment. Think of the sky. It holds the rain, sun, and storm, but never tries to possess them. It lets them pass. This is pure care. Open, spacious, unattached. When you stop needing your care to be returned, You find the peace you were chasing in others has always lived in your own stillness. The Buddha taught, we do not suffer because we care, but because we care with grasping. Real love does not bind. It sets free. Today, ask yourself, where does my care feel like a gift? And where does it feel like a burden? One opens your heart. The other closes your spirit. True care gives others space to be as they are and you. Space to remain at peace. It is not coldness. It is wisdom. What would it feel like to care deeply without needing anything back? That is not weakness, it is power. The quiet power of a peaceful heart. Love can remain deep, even as your hands let go. Compassion can stay whole, even without clinging. And what remains is love in its highest form. Lesson 3. The invisible power of not reacting. There is a sacred space between what happens and how you respond. There is a sacred space. Quiet, easily missed, but in it lies your freedom. Most people rush to react, to defend, to control, to prove. But the more you react, the more power you give away. You become like a leaf in the wind, unsteady, unsettled. The Buddha taught, the calm mind holds the storms without becoming one. Storms still come, but you do not have to become them. You can stay grounded still, aware, awake. In our world, silence is often mistaken for weakness. But in truth, it is discipline. A mountain does not shout at the wind. It simply endures. It remains. Non-reaction is not suppression, it is strength. When you stop reacting to every insult or opinion, you rise above the noise. You choose peace over pride. Think of a time you reacted harshly. Did you feel stronger or just drained? We think reacting fast shows strength. But true power lies in the pause, in the breath before emotion takes over. Next time you are triggered, pause. Feel your breath. Watch the storm rise and pass. In that stillness, you reclaim yourself. In Buddhism, this is equanimity, inner balance that stays steady without shutting down. It is not indifference, it is wisdom. Ask yourself, how much energy have I lost by overreacting? What would happen if I chose stillness instead? When you stop needing to respond to everything, you become grounded like the earth itself. Life begins to align not because it changed, but because you did. The world may shake, but inside you remain the mountain. Stillness reveals truth. Silence reveals strength. Let the wind blow. Let the world spin. You are not here to chase every noise. You are here to be the calm in the middle of it all. If you are not sure what to say, simply type, my stillness is my strength. Lesson 4. Letting go is a form of trust. We often hold on not because we must, but because we fear what happens if we do not. We grip tightly to people, plans, expectations, even pain. Deep down, we think letting go means giving up or losing something essential. But the truth is, letting go is an act of trust. Clinging weighs you down. Releasing sets you free. Look at the trees in autumn. They do not resist the falling leaves, they release them in rhythm. Preparing for renewal, they trust the cycle. Buddhism teaches that everything is impermanent, rising and falling like the breath. When we fight that truth, we suffer. When we accept it, we grow. Holding on can feel safe, but it often keeps us trapped in stories we have outgrown. You are not meant to carry everything. Some things were only meant to pass through. Picture yourself in a quiet forest. Leaves fall gently around you, not in pain, but in grace. Now imagine your own old habits, resentments, or fears falling just like that. You are not losing anything. You are making space. Letting go says, I trust what is leaving is making room for what is meant to stay. We often stay in places, jobs, relationships, identities long past their time. Not because they fit, but because we are afraid. But when you let go, you do not fall, you rise. You become lighter, freer, more aligned. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that wants to leave gently? Trust the answer. Because in letting go, you do not lose power, you return to it. You stop forcing life and start flowing with it. The tree that sheds its leaves does not become less, it becomes aligned with nature. So can you. Let go not with fear, but with faith. Not with bitterness, but with quiet strength. When you stop clinging, peace does not just visit, it stays. Letting go is not the end. It is the beginning of everything real. Lesson 5. The truth is you were never lacking. You spend your life chasing praise, attention, status, or love, hoping that once you get it, you will feel whole. But even when it arrives, the emptiness stays. Why? Because what you seek was never outside, it is buried beneath all your noise. The soul is not empty, just ignored. You have been looking everywhere, but within, forgetting this essential truth. You were never lacking, not even on your worst day. Buddhism teaches suffering comes from illusion, the illusion that something is missing, that you're incomplete, that you must become more to be worthy. But this is not truth. It is conditioning. You were born whole. You do not need to be completed, you need to remember. Imagine a diamond hidden beneath mud. The mud may cover it, but it does not take away its value. The diamond is still a diamond. And you are still you, radiant, complete, enough. Yet we seek validation in noise, others' opinions, and endless approval. Truth does not shout, it whispers in silence, stillness, and breath. That quiet moment when your thoughts slow, and a soft voice says, "You are already whole." But we do not hear it because we are busy proving, pleasing, pretending. We ignore the parts of ourselves that just want to be seen, not by the world, but by us. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Let your breath settle. Say gently, "I am whole. I do not need to be completed." Say it not as a future hope, but a present truth. Feel your body soften. There is a part of you longing for your own approval, not the achiever, but the one who quietly endures through every season. That part deserves your love. Ask yourself, what part of me have I abandoned to feel enough? Let the answer come as a memory, feeling, or tear. Welcome it. Every part of you wants to be embraced, not fixed. When you stop trying to become someone else, life meets you as you are. And peace follows, not because you changed, but because you came home. The day you realize you were never lacking is the day you stop seeking and start being. In that being, life aligns not with fear or image, but with truth. You are already what you seek, you only need to remember. We would love to hear your thoughts. If unsure what to say, just type, "My stillness is my strength." Lesson 6. Nothing changes until you stop resisting. At some point, your soul grows tired not from life itself, but from resisting it. You fight what is. Brace against the unfolding, telling yourself, "This should not be," or "It was not supposed to be like this." In that battle, peace feels impossible. Resistance causes suffering. Acceptance opens the door. The more you struggle to change what is, the more tangled in pain you become. But when you stop pushing, you begin to feel life again, not as an enemy to fight, but a river to join. Buddhist wisdom shows suffering arises not from events, but from refusing to accept them. Pain is part of life. Resistance is optional. Stopping resistance does not make you passive, it makes you quietly powerful. You move with truth, not against it. Like ice melts through warmth, transformation comes through allowance, not force. Imagine standing in a strong river current. You try to hold your ground, but the river keeps moving. The more you resist, the more it pulls you. Now imagine letting go. You soften and let the current carry you. You are no longer fighting, you are flowing. The river has not changed. You have. Try this. With each exhale, whisper allow. Let your shoulders drop. Your breath guide you. One word, one breath. For a minute allow. Allow tension. Allow fear. Allow what is. You are not agreeing with everything, just creating space for it. That space is where peace comes in. Ask yourself, where in my life am I still fighting? Where am I clinging to how things should be? That is where your suffering lies and where surrender may start. When you stop controlling every turn, you start to experience life unfolding, surprising, alive. The paradox. True change begins when you stop forcing it, not effort, but alignment. Not resistance, but release. Peace is not in fixing everything. It is in allowing things to be, just for a moment. From stillness comes clarity. From clarity, a gentle, real path forward. When you stop resisting, you return to yourself, to peace and the present moment as quiet rhythm. Lesson 7. Peace is found in fewer opinions. There is a quiet exhaustion not from what we carry, but from feeling we must constantly explain ourselves. We try to be understood, seen in the right light, to justify our thoughts and feelings, and along the way, peace fades. You say too much, think too hard, care too deeply about how you are perceived. But true peace is found in fewer opinions. The wisest speak less and understand more. They do not explain their silence, they embody it. In Buddhism, restraint is a sacred discipline, not suppression, but refinement. Holding your truth quietly without forcing it is rare freedom. You stop trying to win arguments and simply are who you are. In that, stillness grows. Imagine a calm lake at dawn. It does not try to reflect the sky. It just is, still and clear. You show your deepest truth by living it, not explaining it. Often, explaining comes from fear of judgment, rejection, or losing your place. But the need to explain is a trap that pulls you from your center. You react instead of rest, defend instead of observe. When you realize your truth needs no approval, only presence, you free yourself from the noise. Try this. Next time you want to explain yourself, pause. Do not speak or justify. Just breathe and let it pass. Feel the strength in stillness. You will lose nothing and gain peace. True understanding needs no words. It is felt in silence, presence, and how you hold yourself even when no one applauds. Ask yourself, where am I explaining more than experiencing? What if you stopped explaining and just allowed yourself to be? Those meant to understand will feel your silence more than your words. Those who do not, would not, no matter how much you explain. The day you stop needing to explain yourself is the day you start embodying your truth. That is where peace lies, not in proving, but in presence. Not in convincing, but in quiet knowing. Let your stillness speak. It will echo farther than words ever could. Lesson 8. The gift of becoming unavailable. There is a sacredness in knowing what to let in and what to keep out. But many of us live like open fields, no fences, no gates, no quiet. Every voice and distraction enters freely. We scroll endlessly, respond instantly, and absorb without thought. Slowly, our peace slips away. Your peace is too precious to be open to everything. Not caring sometimes is not coldness, it is wisdom. Remember, your mind is a temple, not a train station. Not everything deserves entry. In Buddhism, the mind is guarded like a sacred space. A temple is peaceful because it is protected. Only reverent guests enter. Imagine living with that care for your attention, energy, and spirit. Be unavailable to drama, gossip, and noise that do not nourish you. Stop apologizing for what does not serve your soul. You do not have to be available to everyone all the time, saying yes when you mean maybe, responding when you need rest. This drains you. Not caring about some things is sacred protection. You do not owe every situation your energy. Some things are better left outside your temple. Try this. Imagine a golden door around your mind. With each thought or message, ask, does this deserve to enter? Practice this and feel your peace grow. You are not shutting the world out, you are inviting peace in. Ask, what have I said yes to that stole my peace? Maybe a role, habit, or conversation you keep revisiting. The good news, You can become unavailable now with quiet strength and no explanation. Like a temple does not explain who may enter. Your boundaries can speak silently. When you become unavailable to what drains you, you become fully available to what heals you. Stop trying to be everywhere for everyone. Start being present for yourself. Let the world spin, you do not have to spin with it. Be still. Be selective. Be sacred. Not everything should enter your heart. Let silence be the gate. Peace the guardian. We would love to hear your thoughts. If unsure, type, "My stillness is my strength." Bonus lesson. Less care. More consciousness. We often believe peace comes from effort, striving harder, fixing more. But what if your real transformation comes from doing less? So much suffering begins with caring that turns into control, the urge to manage, fix, and understand everything. But the less you carry, the more you rise. Let go, not out of apathy, but wisdom. Not because you do not care, but because you now care consciously, like a sky cleared of clouds. Peace is not missing, it is just hidden beneath the noise of trying too hard. So here is the invitation. Less control. More presence. Less reaction. More awareness. Today, pause for a moment. Do not fix or plan, just observe. Let things be. Notice your thoughts. Let tension soften. Truth will return in the stillness. You do not need to chase healing, you need to allow it. Like the Buddha beneath the tree. You do not find freedom by controlling life, but by seeing it clearly. Peace comes not when everything is perfect, but when you stop needing it to be. Let this be your path. Not to fix, but to feel. Not to carry more, but to come home to less and find that it is more than enough. Quick summary of the lessons. The stillness beyond control. Trying to control everything only creates turmoil. Peace begins when we release expectations and allow life to flow. Caring without attachment brings balance. While overreacting drains our energy, true strength lies in calm observation. Letting go is an act of trust, not defeat. It creates space for healing and clarity. You are already whole. Stop seeking worth outside yourself. Transformation begins with acceptance, not resistance. Silence and simplicity protect your peace more than constant explaining. Not everything deserves your energy. Saying no is often the kindest thing you can do for yourself. Peace is available now, not someday. Suffering is not required. Release what no longer serves you and choose presence over fixing. Life aligns when you stop interfering. Letting go is not loss, it is wisdom. The less you grip, the more you grow. Subscribe and awaken your mind with Wisdom Kingdom.